You ever heard the expression, you know, uh, hanging on to bitterness is like drinking poison but expecting someone else to die? When you're holding a grudge, you think it serves you, but you're wrong. Um, you should never stay pressed on being bothered or even overwhelm yourself, with chaos. The distractions you turn to. Please remember this, I tell you, okay? By attempting to do any of these things primarily, you're only fooling yourself because over time it stays there and seeps slower, even, within you and much deeper. So you're now stuck with even more to get rid of simply because you have yet been willing to surrender to it. You're not allowing the healing. Um, it builds up. It's not healthy to stay, resentful. It's essential even to begin the healing. Do you know that you actually are inviting the hurt to linger in the long run? Plus, you're self-harming usually too, with things that are potentially destroying your life. Often we begin to engage, in unhealthy habits, like substances, that can or will lead to addictions, And addictions could be anything. It could be, social media. It can be smoking. It could be doing drugs. It could be drinking. The irony, these sweethearts, these angels, I call them, that came to pick up some bags of clothes I wanted to donate to the church. And I had an iced coffee that I had made, and I was sipping on it. And she made a comment about she used to be addicted to coffee, and that she feels so happy that she was able, to give up that addiction. But then she high-fived the girl she was with, going, but now we go and drink Monsters together, or go get them or something. And I thought to myself, very politely, but thinking, well, that could be an addiction too, right? So it was like they high-fived, they thought that they had picked a different or better, like how I told you guys with the vaping, right? It's like less of two evils. But really, um, even with the coffee, I'm like, see, now I limit myself to making one. I don't make them over and over again, and I don't drink them all day. But I don't want you guys to think I'm saying that it's okay too. However, I got a little worried. Someone knew that I was like, am I now doing a sin because I'm drinking coffee? Was sending me videos to watch about, whether or not it's affecting my kidneys and this and that, whatever. So I drink a lot of water after the coffee, and I'll keep doing that. And anyway, so I told you guys I'm much harder on myself than anybody could else be. But anyway, the important thing I was getting at was, you only think that you're protecting, the emotional stress, like not engaging directly into the drama, but maybe you're still letting it surround you, The point is, you're now protecting the enemy. You're not protecting your peace. Ask yourself this. If you're not cultivating your heart's desire and your greatest joys, then what are you doing really? Emotional stress is still stress. Let me tell you a well-known fact. Stress is the number one inducer of disease, okay? You don't actually win if you distract yourself with what is ultimately going to end up harming you more. It's time to do a turnabout face. See to it that the enemy loses, not you. Okay, prevent yourself from looking stupid. As hard as it was to kick the vape, I realize he's saying, you want to have more kids and you want to not have cancer. Well, then you probably stop puffing on nicotine, right? And also, setting an example for my kids. I don't want my kids to smoke. I don't even want them to vape. And so I had to look at it that way. And then obviously, a message to you guys. And he's right too about it's, how can you get the Holy Spirit if you have, things that you're addicted to, like nicotine or alcohol, then that's not, they're just, they don't serve you, right? So we become woke around here, right? Our discernment's on 10, 100, 1,000 even, right? Take time if you're confused, though, because our God is not of confusion, okay? So take a hard look until the confusion clears. Take the necessary steps and the time that you need to clear your mind, Journey down your path to get there by any means necessary on a deep and energetic level anyway, right? It may start with what you see first, like the physical, right? So turn into the body, then do the gradual move towards the spiritual and emotional level of healing, right? Which is what I've been doing. And so now I'm sharing with you guys. But you will soon see, like me, when working, even with your physical, the emotional will arrive. A lot of my walks, my steps, my talks with God, it's challenging because they are stored, the emotions are, and they may be different to find for you to find them, or for you to find them, right? Am I saying it right? But when you discover them, tend to your feelings, with love and compassion. Work more closely with whatever is present. Do whatever you need to do to care for yourself. When you invite healing to begin, it does. Aside from that, you empower yourself. That's always a good thing. The journey to find peace begins right where you are. So these are the things that I was writing to add to my book today. And so I want to tell you guys about the thing with this relationship, like expert person was saying, this guy, what did he say? He said, there's 3 things in a relationship that if you find, which are very difficult to do, if you find these three things are present, then it's worth fighting for the relationship. He said compatibility, chemistry, and connection. If you had a relationship that you've been in where you've had the compatibility, the chemistry, and the connection, it's probably worth the effort to put in for that relationship, right? Because it's hard to find those 3 things. And they're so important to have. And if you look at the relationship, you can see how much it pours into that relationship to have those 3 elements, right? Especially if you're talking about for a lifetime. That's a long time to be with someone. But anyway, so anything you see, even in friendships, though, as potentially, an asset, maintain the friendship. If you see, bigger things or problems occurring in those areas, then it's not even a friendship to maintain anymore, right? So, but a lot of it is go within, there's nothing you need to know alongside that. Soften your analytic mind while doing this to the possibility of transformation. Ensure best practices while restoring your body, get nourished by fresh energy. You begin to feel it, feel yourself releasing false judgments, fears, and surrender. Your support system. I remember I wrote a note to myself saying, oh yeah, that's right. So typically men are thinkers while women are feelers. That I definitely agree with. So I was putting on, what is tangible? What can you be free of, right? Let me get a pen so I can circle this, because I wanted to write this too, where I was saying, like, connect with your true intention. What has brought you to where you have come from, right? And it's like, do you want to be there, or do you want to be, like, where do you want to be? Like, where did you come from? where were you? Where are you at? Where do you want to be? You know, as you're writing down, like, your goals, right? So, create positive statements of intent. You know, release the negativity and the trust. The true and pure will carry you within, and you know it'll play out to you when you write it out too on paper. Turn your attention to your mind. You know, look in that space. You know, it's like a closet or like an attic, right? Where you hold your thoughts, your beliefs, you know, your limitations. You know, separate yourself. Well, separate the thoughts from the rational, from your, you know, analytical mind. You know, clear aspects of your mind that does not serve you. Bitterness, pride, ego, resistance, right? Third eye area, you know, is stuff that's holding you back from, you know, the surface level of your cognitive thinking, you know, but you need to bring peace and comfort to, you know, your well-being, you know, to your mental, you know, to your spiritual. And it's when you begin to do that, you want to physically be healthier, and you will, because you'll want less of those things that were keeping you stuck or sick, right? So, what is your environment for you? You know, what does it look like? What is present? What's prominent? You know, who do you have around you, or who do you want to have around you? What would benefit the area, that your space, right? Versus what doesn't benefit your space, right? My steps timer telling me to go. So I'm almost done, and then I'll go do my steps. So anyway, the rest of it was just negative. You know, stop with the false sense of reality. You know, you can't find comfort there. You need to connect with direct circumstances, what your true identity is, where you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be with, what you're supposed to be doing. When you connect with that, you'll feel the calmness, you'll feel the peace. You know, it'll feel like home, like you're supposed to be there. You won't feel anxious. You won't feel, you know, worried as much, and you won't be, you know, dwelling on, you know, the past or negativity, or, you know, doing the what if in your head, right? So, anyway, I am going to go do my steps, but be well, be healthy. God bless you all. Talk to you later. Bye.